Hi, it's Trevor Emdon here again, and a little tip I just have for you today. Years ago, I can't even remember where I read this, but I read a joke in a serious-ish book, because I read serious-ish books quite a lot about psychology and personal development, that kind of thing. And I really apologise to whoever the author was because I don't remember, but he or she, I think it was probably a he, said that he was, instead of being paranoid, he chose to be pronoid, by which he meant that he assumed that people were hiving off into dark corners whispering good things about him, you see. And I quite like this idea, and I've kind of used it as a joke myself from time to time. But what if we actually extended that idea a bit? You see, what most of us tend to do, and I include myself when I say most of us, because I'm very aware that I'm teaching myself as well as you when I make these little recordings and these anecdotes. What most of us tend to do is to think in terms of, well, what's the worst that could happen? What could possibly go wrong? And then we start processing in our minds all the things that might sabotage our plans and our desires. And so either we then abandon the plan or desire, or if we forge ahead, we do it with some trepidation. In other words, fear, which one of my friends is fond of reminding me stands for false expectation appearing real. So, which is an acronym I very much like. And also, I would remind you that statistically, most things are all right most of the time, including the fact that you are here alive today as you watch this. That's a remarkable, miraculous fact. Life in the universe should not exist by all the scientific evidence that we apparently have. It's far too much of a coincidence that it does. But here we are. So, and here you are. So don't actually dismiss that. It's amazing that life exists. Not just life, but intelligent, self-aware life, like us. So, to get to my point, when you have a desire, keep your mind focused on it. Focused on it. It's like, that will work out. I don't know how it's going to work out. I don't know how most things work out. I don't know how most things work. Full stop. I don't know how my television works, let alone my computer. I have only got the vaguest idea how my car works. Right? It doesn't matter, does it? I don't need that information in order for it to happen. And those are mechanical or electronic things. I don't know how daisies grow in my garden. I don't put them there. And even if I did put them there, I still wouldn't know how the daisies appear from the daisy seeds. What makes that happen? And how does whatever it is, the great something, know the difference between a daisy seed and producing a daisy and a daffodil bulb? You never get a daisy out of a daffodil bulb, do you? Or vice versa. There's something that knows that that's got to form into this thing. I have no idea how any of that works. And as far as I know, nobody really does. I know there are people with far more scientific knowledge than I have, but that still doesn't mean that they understand how those things actually come about. So, what if you just assumed that your desire could come about, like you plant it in the soil of the great something, the universe, the energy that makes things happen and keeps planets spinning in space without them falling out? You just assume, be pronoid about it, right? That your desire will materialize. It will show up. And then assume that no matter what happens, it's somehow to your advantage. It's somehow, everything is designed in some way to get you nearer to that manifested goal. What if you believed that? How much difference would that make to your life? What if you believed that, oh, something's gone wrong? No, it hasn't. Something unexpected has happened. I didn't foresee that. I'm not quite sure how this gets me nearer to where I want to be. But somehow it does. That will show up. Now, you might say, well, Trevor, this is a bit delusional. But think back on your life. Think of all the things that have happened that have now, without which you wouldn't be where you are. How many things have you caught that have gone wrong at the time you now look back on and say, you know what, that was a blessing in disguise. Blessings in disguise. If that hadn't happened, I'd never have met so-and-so or got that job. Or how about, here's a personal one, how about the times that your heart's been broken? I really got the t-shirt on that at one point in my life. Time after time, it was either nobody or women that I thought were gonna, be the love of my life, who turned out just to hurt me in some way and walk out of my life in some fashion. And now, since 2006, thankfully, I've met and lived with the love of my life. But without those previous experiences, I don't think I'd have been ready for this relationship. I wouldn't have been capable of this relationship. And I almost certainly wouldn't have taken the steps that I took to actually meet the woman who's now my wife and the love of my life. Wouldn't have done that. See? So that's big, isn't it? How many things have you done or have you experienced in your life that you look back on and say, well, actually at the time, that stank, or it was difficult, or it was a challenge, or not a problem. Challenges are okay, but it was a problem. I couldn't see my way out of it. I thought it was all over. I thought my business was doomed. I thought whatever, something that hit the bottom or rock bottom or close to, and yet things happened. That in the bigger design, if you could have seen the bigger picture. So just assume that's happening now. What the object of this exercise is to get you to start consistently focusing on good things happening to you. The outcome that you desire will happen as long as you stop sabotaging yourself with thoughts of, oh, what if it all goes wrong? And, I thought that was going to work out and it didn't. And then you abandon it, try something else, or give it up altogether and go back to the drudgery you didn't want. All right? If you want to build a business, build a relationship, whatever it is you want to do in your life, that desire is achievable. I don't believe you'd have the desire if it wasn't achievable. So it's about believing in yourself and trusting in the great something that made all of this happen, whatever you call that. You don't have to be religious to believe that. We're here, and that shouldn't be. So look at the blessings in disguise and assume that's happening now. Be paranoid about your future. The universe is in dark corners conspiring to bring you the best good fortune you can imagine, or even beyond your imagination, something even better. Hope that helps. I'll see you in the next broadcast. It's Trevor Emdon signing off. Bye for now.